What's up, gente? Welcome back to Stan Sports and another Champions League review. We're talking Real Madrid's win last night against RB Leipzig and Sevilla's visit to Copenhagen. After a Tuesday night where Spanish teams lost, the Atleti and Barcelona losing in Germany, Real Madrid, of course, had to pick up the slack like they do every season and winning last night at the Bernabeu. 2-0 win. Very typical Real Madrid win for how they played this season. They always turn it on in the second half, and especially after that 60th minute. In the 7 official games this season, they've scored 20 goals. 15 of them have come after the 60th minute. This is crazy, and it has its explanation, and the name is Antonio Pintus. If you're not familiar with this guy, look him up. He's an Italian physio that's been in charge of Real Madrid. He's had 2 stints at the club, one between 2016 and 2019 with Zinedine Zidane, where he won 2 Champions Leagues and a league. Then he went off to Inter Milan, made them champions, surprise, surprise. Back to Real Madrid last season. We know what Real Madrid did, the double. And this season they've started, the same way they finished last season. We remember how they won the Champions League. They were overwhelming team in that last third of the games, scoring goals, people off the bench, lots of energy. And that's exactly what Blancos are doing last night as well against Leipzig. Leipzig, lots of chances in the first half. Kunku had like 2 or 3 clear-cut chances. They could have buried the game. Something we talked about Barca against Bayern. And this is the difference. Real Madrid, after the 60th minute, after the 70th minute, you can see it's like they have an extra dose of life, an extra dose of energy. They start pressing you. They create chances for themselves and they take them. Over the weekend against Mallorca, it was the same story. Fede Valverde scored just before halftime to equalize, and then in the last 20 minutes of the game, Real Madrid turns it on. They're physically fit. They turn it to another level. The press is just underwhelming for teams, and inevitably they get chances. And with the people that they have in form right now, look at Fede Valverde. He hasn't been getting a lot of praises last season, but this season he started on absolute on fire. He's a leader on the pitch, even though he's a young player. He's now got a few seasons under his belt. He's won the Champions League. I think that's done wonders for his confidence, and we see him, pushing up yesterday, that cutback and finish with his left foot. Unbelievable. And that's what he's doing more and more. It's also really encouraging for Carlo Ancelotti to see that Rodrigo is really taking up that role as a number 9. I think he's the better suited player in that position than Eden Hazard. I've always thought he's more of a striker than a winger. He's, adapting to that right-hand side because that was a position available around Madrid. But now with Benzema gone, I do think that he is the best player to replace him in that system, and we saw he's part of that press that Real Madrid does. He has a lot of energy, he's in the right positions, he can finish, and with his recent goals, there's going to be a lot more confidence in him. And unless Benzema is ready for the derby this weekend against Atletico, I expect to see him in that number 9 position. Marcos Asensio as well, good to see him getting a goal, and a very, very good goal. It was a difficult shot because the ball from Kroos was coming from the corner. But he was able to scoop it up and finish it perfectly in that left corner. And again, Real Madrid getting the 3 points. That's 7 wins on the bounce between La Liga and the Champions League. The most informed team in Europe at the moment. And, even though they concede chances, they just have that confidence that, when the game gets into the dying moments, they have another level to go to, turn it on, and just score their way out of trouble, no matter if they concede in the first half, as we've seen many games that they do in La Liga. So Real Madrid on course to top the group, of course. They have against Shakhtar home and away next in the Champions League, and you feel like if they get 4 points out of those 2 games, they're going to be clear on top of that group and going into the latter stage of the Champions League. The other Spanish representative last night was Sevilla going to Copenhagen, getting a 0-0 draw. I think it was more of a case for Lopetegui to stop the bleeding, get some confidence back up. After they win in La Liga the other day, this result is gonna, I think, do wonders for them. That's their first clean sheet of the season. We know they lost their center backs this summer. They haven't replaced them. They've been leaking goals. Lopetegui under a lot of pressure. So I think that was lingering on his mind. Go to Denmark, try to get a result, and that's what they did. I think in the second half they basically settled for the 0-0 draw. They have problems up front. They've had them for a while. We know in this series he's not the most reliable striker. Eric Lamela is inconsistent as well. Rafa Mir, we can say the same about him. They're one of their main dangers in the last few seasons. Lucas Ocampos, they got rid of this summer. So it was always going to be inevitable that they're going to have problems both in the defense and up front. And I think those problems are going to continue. They play Villarreal this weekend away. a game here in Valencia that we're gonna be at, so stay tuned this weekend, but I don't expect them to get a result here, and then they play Atletico Madrid. So the schedule is not kind at all, and I do think it's a matter of time that we see Lopetegui go. Not necessarily his fault what's happening in the club, but I think it's more upstairs. I think questions have to be asked of Monchi, why there hasn't been money reinvested in players, but I do think in situations like this it's easier to get rid of the manager, start fresh with a new manager, hopefully get a new manager bounce, and at least try to finish third in the group, because Sevilla, after 2 game weeks, they have 1 point, they haven't scored a goal in the Champions League. So I think realistically they have to go for that 3rd spot, go into the Europa League, and then who knows, it's their tournament after all. Europa League action tonight, we got Betis against Ludogorets and Real Sociedad against Omonia. I expect 2 home wins for them, and of course Villarreal in the Conference League. They're going to be going away to Apoel Beersheva in Israel. It's going to be a long trip. And after the first game against Lech Poznan, where they conceded 3 goals, let's see how Unai Emery approaches his game and how much of a rotation he does before his weekend game against Sevilla. Thanks for watching, guys. As we said, we're going to be doing the matchday vlogs this weekend in Valencia. We're going to Valencia against Celta on Saturday. I'm hoping to see Cavani's debut at Mestalla. Let's see if that happens. And of course, on Sunday, we're going to the Ciudad de Valencia to watch Villarreal against Sevilla. Stay tuned to Stan Sports, subscribe and like this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hasta luego. Ciao.